high school graduation rates,
Yes, sir.
which was part of our conversation when we
Yes, sir.
came to the office. Even though Pennsylvania's test scores Pennsylvania's the only state in the nation where test scores have gone up every grade level, every subject matter, and I think we need to be proud of that. We don't tout that enough. We need to talk about that. And we need to talk about those things that have worked to make us get to that point. We still have this glaring reality that I think kind of manifests itself when you look at the high school graduation situation.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, issues going on in some of our more challenged schools, which I guess leads to the question about trying to, or getting a sense of where do you see how we can combine the whole social service community and the whole social service network into our, kind of fold them in together with our education reality. Many kids are in an environment where they're coming from very, very challenged situations.
Yes, sir.
That have been plaguing some of those communities for long periods of time. How do you see a way to meld all of that stuff together?
You know, that a lot of folks point to the fact of what the data shows about the social environment that the child comes from as one of the biggest predictors of educational achievement. I agree. Where I kind of get a little nervous is when that's used as an excuse as to why there can't be educational. I know you're not saying that. Too often in my profession, that's what we do say, and then we stop at that conversation. We need to get the interaction between the educators and the community, and the educators in the schools and in the administration and the community leaders engaged. We need for that community to own that school, in my mind. That it is. I love to see weekend programs at schools. I love to see the folks opening up their door. I love it when school district administrators recognize that in order for us to affect change on that child's academic performance in high school, you got to bring the parent in. And sometimes, and we're seeing some schools around the country do some innovative work with the funds that they have, innovative work about adult literacy programs, so that the child and the parent are there together, which drives the academic achievement. I don't think we successfully engage the parent as we could. Sometimes that's our fault, to be quite honest with you. Sometimes that's the education professional's fault. Sometimes it's the parent's fault.
I think I don't want to say it's an opposition. I don't disagree with you on that. I think to have change the kind of outcomes that we want to have really requires, in some of these much more challenged educational environments, how we connect the service networks that exist within a particular community, the family obviously, yes, but the other social service systems that exist that are supposed to respond. How do we figure out a way to link them all up through our educational system? And I'd like to work with you on that.
Absolutely, Senator. We have 15,000 school districts in the country.
Mm-hmm.
We have this model of how we provide education services, educational opportunities to kids. It doesn't work everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We need to, and part of it is mandate relief. Part of it is just freeing up school district administrators and principals to do things a little bit differently on the ground. I was talking to one administrator in a school in Pennsylvania, and then this happened coincidentally in another school that I was talking with another administrator from another part of the country. First Pennsylvania conversation happened years ago. The other conversation happened more frequently. The teachers go out, do home visits in the community before the first day of school. Mm-hmm. Home visits. They knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Parents are shocked to see the teachers show up. Why can't we do that? Understanding certain circumstances, it might be a little bit more difficult because of the safety of, and that's paramount. But why can't we examine those type of things? Now, would that be the proper approach in other school districts? Of course not. You don't need to do that in other school districts. But in those areas, you should. But in those areas where you have greater needs, you got to do things differently. I look forward to working with you.
I want to work with you. I'll give you a picture, and then I'll close off, Mr. Chairman. I have a school. I'm looking at it right now in my mind's eye of a school that is here on one block, and within 20 yards is a health center, the neighborhood health center. Okay, it's the city's health center.
Yes, sir.
And the question that comes into mind is, we know that there's health challenges with the kids in the school. What is the connection? What is the nexus between the health center and the individuals who work at the nurses and docs and other social workers who work there? What is the nexus between the two, so that there's a closer link between the two, that we're responding to the physical, the health realities of the child, which obviously prevent them from learning at their highest level.
Just one casual observation to your comment. I've talked with a lot of community groups, many of them headline names that you would know.
Mm-hmm.
There's less reluctance on the part of them getting engaged in the school. There's more reluctance on the part of the school opening their doors to the groups. We got to work on that.
We'll work on that together.
Absolutely.
Thank you.